Creating as an act of courage. Giovanna Moraes faces uncertainties in her new album, Direto da Gringa. In 2018, Giovanna Moraes took her first step as a musician with the release of her debut album, Àchromatics. Experimental and daring, the album introduced the singer-songwriter from Sao Paulo to the challenges of being an independent artist and the many weeds of uncertainty that this path brings. Afraid at first, Giovanna envisioned a response to all of these uncertainties, a new album. 2 years later, Direto da Gringa is born, a creative reaction to all the impasses felt as a consequence of her first release and the changes that those challenges brought onto her. My work has always been about facing challenges, and the challenge for this latest release, Direto da Gringa, was to try and write in Portuguese for the first time. The name Direto da Gringa means straight from the gringa, gringa being outsider or foreigner. It is sort of a joke, given that Giovanna spent her undergraduate years studying in the United States and wrote her debut, Àchromatics, in English, despite being born and raised Brazilian. So I've always been really comfortable with English. It's the language I spent most of my life studying in. But also, I feel like it was the beginning of my career, and I sort of liked having this language barrier to hide behind. I liked the idea that those closest to me would not necessarily understand everything that I was saying. Music back then, for me, was just emotional catharsis. It was meant to be just for me.
Foi nos seus olhos que encontrei outra interação, doce delírio que amarra a boca, desperta.
Now, with Direto da Gringa, it's meant to be for others. Specifically, it's about communicating with others who, like me, may have felt like they don't completely fit the Brazilian mold. But for that, it had to be in Portuguese. Towards this end, I started studying a lot about Brazilian music and culture, literature, including names like Clarice Lispector, Elis, Regina, Tom Zé, among many others of the Tropicália movement. Inspired by the flexibility of the Portuguese language, Giovanna delivers in Direto da Gringa several gems to the history of Brazilian music. Albeit with some interventions in English, keeping true to her gringa persona.
That simulation again.
Produced by Tommy Thanos at Thanos Studio in Sao Paulo, and featuring musicians such as Tommy Thanos himself on electric guitar, Giovanna Moraes herself on keys and vocals, Renato Elis on drums, and Pedro Dona on bass. Sonorously, the album represents a potpourri of Brazilian rhythmic styles, including samba, MPB, bossa nova, ejexá, among many others, as Giovanna investigates the many subgenres that exist within the immense category of Brazilian music. Giovanna's voice is one of enormous range and capacity, and in Direto da Gringa, she uses it to paint an emotional journey with lyrics that embrace the uncertainty of life. Uncertainty, after all, can act as an agent of change, allow for a moment of agency. Jump into Direto da Gringa, now on all streaming platforms.
Hello, kind listeners, and welcome. Let's get mental!